guess a Pegasus would be a Skyhorse? Since Ulysse Nardin was founded way back in 1846, its motto has been, let's f*** up, or words to that effect, because when everyone else zigged, they zagged, zogged, zooged, and indeed zergled. When the industry was competing to make increasingly more complex pocket watches, Ulysse Nardin said nah and made a boat clock you could take over the entire sea with instead. Literally, if you had a Ulysse Nardin marine chronometer, you owned the sea. It was like having ChatGPT in an exam. So it stands to reason the same brand would decide sometime in 2001 that it was opposites day and that the movement should be in the front and the hand should be in the movement and the movement should move when the time moves, so the movement of time is time to the movement. I did check and they don't have a carbon monoxide leak at Ulysse Nardin HQ. They're just that mental. And for the Freak X, the most ordinary version of that mad watch, which is a bit like calling the Yellow Jacket the friendliest kind of wasp, we now have an amalgamation of old and new that's somehow even madder. If you didn't know, Ulysse Nardin is the proud owner of Cadron, one of the few remaining ateliers capable of manufacturing enamel dials. We're talking a room of a few people unhinged enough to torture themselves with the painstaking process of taking ground glass and layering, firing, layering, firing, until they either have a dial or the shattered remains of their dreams where once a dial had been. The failure rate on this process is so high, I'm surprised they don't get PTSD. Layer some of that sweet, sweet enamel over a beautifully hand-guilloched base and you have a technique called flinke, a decorative style found in pocket watches and clocks hundreds of years ago. Slip it into the contemporary chaos that is the Freak X and you would expect a mess. But in fact what results is the watch I expected Dr. Brown to have in Back to the Future 3. This teal version in 43mm for £34,000 is the Siddiqui edition, limited to just 30 pieces.